What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. CDK Boxing. Let's talk boxing. Listen up, man. I promise y'all an interview, and I'm about to get to it. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make this thing happen with Mr. Joey Borrero sometime in just a minute. Phone be acting funny. Okay, I tried to bring you in. Let me know if it when it again. All right. Did you see me accept it? Yeah. I just accepted it too. I don't know why it's not letting you come in. Send it one more time because I definitely tried to bring you in some kind of way. It said accepted. Okay. Okay. I'm thinking it's. I think I've just seen where it said it won't allow you to go live or something. Cause I seen something pop at the bottom. I don't know. Okay, what's good? How you doing,
Hey, how you
fam?
doing, bro? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing all right. I thought they might have still had you locked down and wouldn't let you. You know what I'm saying wouldn't let you go live with me. Yes, how everything going with you?
Everything's going good, man. Everything's going good. Just grinding, staying training, basically staying busy, and just waiting on my next fight day. We got some big things coming up, so we got a lot of big things coming up. We got some big plans coming up. Basically, I gotta stay quiet. I can't say too much because it's
Right.
it's a lot of good stuff coming though, for sure, for sure.
And I'm glad to hear that because I feel y'all don't know who this is, man. And for y'all to do this, Mr. Joey Borrero, 11-1 record, and you fight at lightweight, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, 135 pounds division. For y'all that don't know, uh, you've been out of the ring about 13 months now, right?
I've been out of the ring, yeah, almost a little bit over a year, correct?
Okay, because you had a fight, I think, scheduled with Rashad Boger, and the fight I believe, it got
Ye-
canceled.
Yes, sir. The fight did get canceled. We had that fight scheduled. I was looking for. We made it all the way down to New Jersey, and due to unseen circumstances, we made the way we got there. Just the fight wasn't able to happen. So
Also, you showed up and was ready to go, but then things happen.
yeah.
Man, one thing about boxing right now, from my era, I'm 50 years old, so I noticed there's a lot of, like the fighters from my days, they used to fight 2 or 3 times a year, sometimes four. And it seems like boxing has kind of changed up. Why do you think it's like the inactivity is so strong in boxing now?
Well, the thing is, if you don't have a lot, like boxing, it became from the poor man's sport. Back in the day, it used to be called the poor man's sport, to a sport where now you have to have a lot of backing when it comes to money. In order to make those big fight happen, get those big names to accept fights, you need a lot of backing as far as money. And back in the day, you used to see that, for example, you had a contender wanted to fight the other contender just because he had the title, and nowadays you don't see that. You can have a title, but the guy that's holding the title wants to go pay the WBC, IBF, or whichever organization might be, want to pay him a couple of bucks on the table. Hey, I don't want to fight the number one contender, but I want to fight the number five. And they'll approve that fight, and, they keep ducking the top level fighters. So it's real hard, and everybody wants to stay undefeated. Including me. I used to be on that streak before I took my first loss. I was on that streak, man. I want to stay undefeated, this and that. But once I took my first loss, then I realized I'm like, man, it wasn't no big deal about staying undefeated, because now I'm not afraid of losing that record anymore. I'm willing to fight whoever it is. I want to get the big fights, big names. People tell me, oh, it's because you lost a fight. Everybody says that. No, it's that handicap mentality that people give themselves after Floyd went undefeated, man. How many of the greats do we see, like Bernard Hopkins? We see Manny Pacquiao. we see a lot of the greats that lost early on in their careers. They still have a great career going on, but guess what? Now because of that Floyd Mayweather era, no disrespect to him,
Right.
because he did his job. He did what he had to do. You know what I mean? But there's only one Floyd Mayweather in this world. You know,
That,
not every fighter can be Floyd Mayweather.
and you definitely right about that. And I think it's something that's destroying boxing because people don't want to take the loss and they're scared it's going to mess their career up. But just like you named the people, Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvelous Hagler, you know what I'm saying? A lot of those guys, Thomas Hearns, they took losses, but fought the best. And I'm glad you brought that up because one of the things I want to ask you is, do you kind of feel like, you told me something that I really didn't realize about them paying because David Benavidez has been the number one contender for Canelo Alvarez's title, I think, for 3 years. So you think that's what's kind of holding up the fight? Because I don't believe. Do you believe they will force Canelo to fight David Benavidez?
They're not gonna force it for the simple fact that there's a lot of money to be lost in Canelo. Canelo's the cash cow right now. Canelo can pick and choose who he wants to fight, and he's earned that spot, but also he needs to give the position like this Jaime Munguia fight. I don't think Munguia deserves a title shot more than Benavidez does. Benavidez has proven multiple times he deserves it more. But guess what? The easier fight, the younger fighter. Guess what? Let's give him a chance because I'm gonna take him down now before develops into a better fighter where I can no longer take the risk of fighting him. So let's give this guy let's push this guy down that's already ready to fight me. He's been eager to. Let me put him down and let me give the chance to these young prospects. Canelo's just doing to Munguia what Floyd Mayweather did to Canelo.
Definitely, you definitely right about that. The exact same thing is happening. And you say you took your. I guess your last fight was when you took your first
My
defeat.
first
You
loss,
know,
correct?
right? Do you feel like everything was the same leading up to that fight as far as training? Because I know you was the favorite in that fight. Because one thing I do my homework. What do you think went wrong in that fight? And have you made the? You feel like you've already made the changes?
In all honesty, I let my macho get the best of me. I decided, you know what, let's go toe to toe, let's bang. I was hurt. When I got hurt, instead of taking my time reassessing, relaxing, I let it get to my head, go out there, got hurt. I was okay. Like after the fact that they even tried to like they threw in the towel and everything, I was good. I wasn't expecting my corner to throw in the towel with 10 seconds. Not even, it was like 2 seconds before the round was over. I could have just recovered, came back stronger because the guy had threw everything out in the third round. But it was just my corner at the time stopped it, which I think was a premature stoppage, but at the end of the day, man, things happen. I can't go back to the past and change things, but I can only move forward and change what I'm gonna do going forward.
Definitely. And just like man, you walked me right into one of my questions. You said you felt like it was a premature stoppage in your corner. Do you still have the same trainers or have you moved on?
No, I moved on from the trainers. The thing about a fighter, man, if you don't have a corner that can trust your ability as a fighter to be able to see you in tough situations and allow you to recover and come back from it, you don't need that corner.
Uh,
We see it with a lot of these great fighters, especially my uncle Felix Trinidad. A lot of the times he was out in the rounds, early on in the fights, and he was knocked out, and people, oh, that's all he has. Third, fourth round came back and he was dropping the other dude, coming back to fight, giving the best that he had. And as a fighter, you need a corner that's willing to let you fight. Of course, there's that
you're
fine
definitely right
line where you
about that.
gotta
Ain't no
say,
doubt
okay,
about it.
yeah. There's that fine line where, okay, the fighter now is taking too much punishment. It's time to stop it. And I understand that. But if the fighter doesn't have enough punishment, if he's okay, he's still reacting, he's still conscious of what's going on, I feel like he should be given the chance to keep on going.
I definitely agree with you. And let me ask you this: I don't know if you've been paying attention, but in Earl Spence case, I was a big Earl Spence fan, still am. It's been reported that Earl Spence is parting ways from Derrick James. Now, Derrick James didn't stop that fight. I believe the ref stopped it.
Yeah.
But just me looking them from the outside looking in, they've had a lot of success together. If you've been with a person for that long, and just say for instance you took a loss and he didn't stop the fight, could you see yourself leaving, or do you give that person another chance?
No, you give the person another chance. It's only if you guys have had success for multiple years, you guys have been good, and something happened where it wasn't your night, it wasn't your night. There's so many things leading up. I love Arrow, man. Me and Arrow know each other. He went to the Box Fan Expo in Las Vegas, and but the thing I gotta say is I don't agree with the separation between them, because if you got a formula that's already working, instead of separating from it, let's go ahead, let's sit down, coach, let's talk, let's think about what's going on wrong. What can we tweak, or who can we bring into the camp so that we can make some of the adjustments? You know,
Right.
I don't feel like they should have split, but at the end of the day, to each his own. Every man chooses their own
Right.
destiny.
You You're definitely right about that, man. I hope they work it out because I think Derrick James is an excellent trainer. But like you say, every man got to make his own decisions. There's a lot of things. One thing about boxing right now, that I've been paying attention to is a lot of people talking about the testing, the VADA testing, and the snack program. Are you familiar with the snack program?
No, no,
It's like I don't know. Well, Victor, have you ever heard of Victor Conte?
yeah.
Okay, he has a snack program or whatever, and a lot of people that Terrence Bud Crawford, Devin Haney, I guess they're tied in with the snack program. And some people feel like that Victor Conte, because of the things he done in the past, like they shouldn't be with him. How do you feel about that? Like if 'cause like Bud said, it's more for him. It's this is a guy. It's a sponsorship.
Mm.
Would you be willing to take on a sponsor like that, or how do you feel about that?
No, I'd be willing. As long as the thing with the sponsorships, as long as the sponsor's treating you right as a fighter, they're providing what your team and you need or are asking for. I don't see what's wrong with not accepting the sponsorship. At the end of the day, a sponsorship with a business like that is different from your fights. You got to learn how to separate both, because that's the problem with boxing right now. Boxing is becoming more of a business
Yeah.
than it actually is. um how do you call it, a sport. We see everything that's going on, where way before, back in the day, you had HBO, Showtime, all these boxing giants. Now all these streaming programs are coming in. Why? Because it's free advertisement. It's another way of them to bring income. They don't have to put in for a big camera crew or none of that. They just stream it, and it's pretty much a lot cheaper than it would be going on a TV working out a deal with a network. They can stream it themselves, even YouTube, man. Look at what Jake Paul is doing, for example. Look at what he did in Puerto Rico. He had
Right.
the main event cards in Amazon, but what happened? He had all the undercards live streamed through his YouTube channel.
Man, yeah, that was smart. That was smart right there. And Jake Paul is a great businessman. You understand? And you're from Puerto Rico. Your family, originates from Puerto Rico. And how do you feel about Jake Paul? And a lot of people, some people say, well, he's not good for boxing. Some people say he's great for boxing. He's making boxing notice. How do you feel about Jake Paul?
Well, honestly, in all honesty, let's come. We got to look at it from both perspectives. Yeah, you got a guy that's coming from a YouTube building that came in and tried to develop in the sport. Well, not try to develop himself in the sport, became a fighter. Now, I understand why people accept, but at the end of the day, it's a grind, man. He grinded his way, made himself known through YouTube. And what he did is he used that platform to build himself up in the boxing industry. Now, I would be different if he was just a mediocre fighter that was not trying to improve himself. But if you constantly see the way that he's training, he's training like an actual fighter. As a matter of fact, he was in Las Vegas, training at the Bones Adams gym. You know, and that's not a regular amateur gym. No, man. I've sparred at Bones Adams. I used to train there with when Salas was the one in charge of training at Bones Adams gym. That is a hardcore gym where only the top elite pros in Las Vegas go. So
Right.
for him to be there and for them to open the doors to him, that just has to show it's not just about money, but it has to show his his wanting to be in the sport. Now, look at all the positive. Look at all the people that were watching YouTube that weren't
Yeah.
boxing fans that were just subscribed to his channel. Look at how
Right.
they all transferred into boxing fanatics. Look at all the MMA fights and all these MMA fighters that were followed. All their following started watching fighting, boxing because they watched somebody on their undercard or somebody that Jake Paul fight. That hey, you know what? Boxing is just as good or maybe better than MMA.
Definitely, you're definitely right, and it's crazy that you brought up Clarence Bones Adams gym. I fought Bones Adams in the amateurs. You
Oh
know what I'm
wow.
saying? And yeah. I fought him in the amateurs. Like, I gave him his first loss in the amateurs. We were young, but I was supposed to go out to his gym when I was in Las Vegas. I didn't get the opportunity to go out there, but you know what I'm saying? When I get a chance, he told me anytime that I want to come out there, come on out there. So I'm definitely gonna go out there. You know what I'm saying? And try to see how it is. Have you ever? So are you in Vegas right now? Or are you located in
So
Colorado?
right now I'm living in Colorado. I travel back and forth from Colorado. I travel to Vegas. And then I travel all the way down to basically Puerto Rico. So I stay in between those three places. And when I got fights coming up, I either do my training camps in Puerto Rico or with Lightning Boxing Club in California, in Oakland, California.
Okay. And with Felix Trinidad, you said I know that that's your uncle. Did when you was leaving your trainers, you know, and moving on, did you go to him for advice?
Yeah. No, he was the one. Finally, when because I left my coaches and everything, it was because he wanted me to. He said, you know what, man, like they didn't give you the chance if they didn't believe in you to fight. If they didn't trust in you and your abilities to recover and come back and fight, not give you a chance and just throw in the towel in the second round, is not worth having a corner like that. Because if you can't trust them in a title fight where you're winning, you never know if somebody's gonna come under the table. Hey, we'll give you $10,000 or $20,000. All you have to do is in certain round throw in the towel. They'll go ahead and do it, you know, and which I don't think would have been the case with the people, but you never know, man. You never know. And this sport is ran by money now. You know what I mean?
Definitely, it definitely is. And one thing about boxing, if anybody knows boxing, Tito Trinidad, man, he knows boxing. So you know it's definitely good to have him in your corner and have someone, you know what I'm saying, that you can talk to and look to for advice. Or who are you with now as far as your trainers?
Well, Lightning. So Chris Lopez, Lightning Lopez. They know him as Chris Lopez. David Lopez is dad. David Lopez is a young prospect. He just got signed with Devella and the OTX team. He's a really good fighter, man. And I'll tell you, that kid definitely has potential to also be a world champion. So me and him, we're the
You there? 1 second, y'all. Look like we're having a few technical difficulties. I don't know what's going on. Hope it comes back in. I don't think it's my end. So just y'all give me a one moment. See if it comes back in real quick. All right. He went out, but everybody just hold on for a second. I'm gonna try to get him right back in here. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate everybody for stopping by, man, and showing me some love. Y'all follow me, man. If y'all ain't following me on YouTube, it's CDK Boxing on YouTube, man. Y'all go over there, you know what I'm saying, and follow my channel, and I gladly appreciate that. See if he comes back in real quick. 1 second. some reason he's not coming back in. So I'm gonna cut this short, man. Like I said, everybody, man, y'all get the opportunity to follow me. Follow me on at CDK Boxing. I'll be bringing y'all more interviews. You know what I'm saying? Check out my interviews I already got on my channel. Hold on one second. I think he's back. I just hit the button. It's okay. No problem. No problem. I just hit it. We might have to do it like we done it the last time. Okay, there you go. No problem at all.
Yo,
No problem at
my bad. My phone overheated, so it just turned off on me.
all. Okay, ain't no problem. I already know how they go, man. I know how it go. I think I forgot exactly what we was talking about, but I definitely wanted to ask you, like, with how many times do you think you're gonna fight this year? You plan on fighting this year, as far as trying to, if
Well,
you can stay active?
definitely, we're talking about it. We want to basically do 5, 6 fights this year. And for those people that are hopping on to the live, and check out, I'm gonna be at the Box Fan Expo. You know, Clarissa Shields, Roy Jones Jr., Mike Antonio Barrera. A lot of these big name fighters are gonna come on to the Box Fan Expo in Las Vegas. So if you guys wanna check us out, go ahead. We'll go ahead and sign some autographs and do everything. But I just want to make that quick announcement real quick. But yeah, I'm trying to stay busy about 5 times, 5 to 6 fights this year.
Oh yeah, it's definitely you. You know, when you first up and coming in boxing, you get the opportunity to spar with a lot of different people. Have you had the chance to spar with anybody at the 135-pound division that we might know?
I mean, a lot of people, like you name all the way up to like super welters, man. Like I sparred Tank Davis, your Dennis Ugas, Rances Bartolome, Jorge Linares, um, Gamboa before Gamboa stopped being Gamboa.
Right.
Um, a lot of big name up and coming fighters. I used to live in Vegas. Rolando Romero, Fernando Vargas Jr. A lot of these up and coming fighters that are up and coming. Devin Haney. All these guys. We all grew up together. We all grew up sparring. You know what I mean? So
Right.
we all know what we got. Sad thing is,
Yeah.
in the boxing world, it's a lonely sport, meaning that one of you makes it, only that person makes it. So everybody has
Yeah.
to look for their own way, and that's what we're all doing. Everybody kind of took their own place and to solidify their career.
Right. You sparred Devin Haney and Javante Tank Davis, and they got a ongoing feud that ain't gonna be settled until they probably get in the ring. What's the difference between those two guys in style and spawn?
Listen, I will tell you this much: when I sparred Tank, I gave him trouble when I was fighting him on the inside. The moment I started trying to box him from the outside. He clipped me with a right hand. Clipped me real nice. First time I've ever been dropped in a sparring session. Um,
Oh
Devin,
man,
Devin, he's more technical. Devin don't like pressure. He don't like it when you're smothering him. But the moment you give Devin that real estate, that space in between you guys, it's really hard for you to get into it. Like I only maybe got him in trouble maybe once in a 6 round sparring session. And the rest of the time, he was just outboxing me. His IQ was
it's
impeccable.
real.
And I'm not afraid. That's the thing. Fighters are afraid to say that. I'm not. Because
It's
at the
real.
end of the day, I know that my skill level back then wasn't what my skill level is now.
Right. Right. Man, definitely, and that's man, you just really broke it down from what I've always thought about the styles. You know what I'm saying? I thought Tank would probably be a little better inside fighter than Devin. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like you said, you've been in there with both of them, but I've heard like Ryan Garcia and Rolly said that Tank don't really hit hard; he just hit with precision. I don't believe
Now,
that. You know what I'm saying? You've been in
now
there with him.
I've been hit by Rolando. Rolando doesn't clip near clip me, but not drop me at all. Like he's
Right?
hurt me before in
Yeah.
sparring, just like I've hurt him.
What
But
did you say?
he has
I'm
nowhere
sorry.
the power.
It
Go
cut out.
ahead.
It cut out for a second. You said that Rolando what now?
I say Rolando has nowhere near the power as Tank Davis has.
Okay.
Rolando, me and him sparred before. I've heard Rolando. Rolando has heard me, but we never dropped each other. But I will tell you this much: only person that I would describe monstrous power would be Tank Davis. Man, it's an explosive power
Dang.
that you can't really think about how it comes. It's just such a small person carrying that much power. I've been hit by let's put it this way. If you go back to my Instagram, you'll see me sparring Luis Arias. And I was 140. Luis Arias was getting ready for the Jerry Hurd fight. He was
Okay.
cutting down from 180 down to 170, I think, or 175, something like that. And he clipped me a couple times in the video, but like not clipped me where he hurt me or I was dazed. Like me and him were going toe to toe, and I got him in trouble. You could see in the video. Now, a guy like that heavy does not hit as hard as Tank does.
Wow. That's saying a lot right there, because I've always thought, man, Tank, just for me watching when he caught Santa Cruz, you could see the power there. There's no way, what I'm saying, someone just hit with precision would put somebody to sleep like that. So I knew, what I'm saying, it was mostly a bunch of, in my opinion, a bunch of hate. What you brought up Rolly's name. A lot of people, me personally, I don't feel like he's a really good boxer. But I know he started late, so I give him credit for doing what he's doing. How do you see that fight playing out between him and Pitbull?
I feel like Pitbull's gonna win. Pitbull has the pressure, has what Rolando doesn't like. Listen, I sparred with Rolando. I've been there many times. People that know me and see me videos of me, see my fights, things like that. I'm a pressure fighter. Rolando doesn't like pressure fighters. And that's what Pitbull is. Pitbull is a pressure fighter. Now, the one thing you can give Rolando is unpredictable. He
Right,
doesn't
right.
have your typical Cuban boxing. Rolando has an unpredictable boxing style.
He definitely does. And the only way I can see him winning that fight is if he would be able to catch Pitbull coming forward or coming in and maybe clipping him and catching him with something. And that's the only chance that I see him having a win. Now I just thought because like you said, Pitbull's relentless. He comes forward. He's always applying pressure, and that's going to be a really difficult fight for him.
Look at you can analyze if you analyze both fights between Pitbull Cruz against Tank Davis and Tank Davis versus Rolando. Pitbull lasted the whole fight, but why? Because Pitbull is short, knows how to be tucked, and knows how to move his head on the inside.
Yeah,
Rolando just kept coming forward, waiting for that one big punch he was gonna land. He put pressure. He dominated those 6 rounds, but he fell right into Tank's trap because Tank was trying to set him up the whole time. And you
definitely, he
can
definitely
notice
was.
if you know boxing and you have a boxing IQ and play it out, you see that he was waiting for that one counter shot. Same thing that that Gervonta did to Santa Cruz, he did to Rolando.
Yep.
Why? Because if you listen to the interviews before the Santa Cruz fight, Coach Cal was actually talking to Gervonta, and they were talking about what they were going to catch Santa Cruz with. And exactly what they said they were going to catch him with is what they ended up catching him with.
They definitely did. And you're 6'1", right?
Yes, sir.
So Tank is on the shorter side. I think he's 5'5" or whatever. Uh, so with you being in there with him, do you think he struggles against taller fighters? Say if he did, him and Devin Haney, or with the weight, you think the weight would play a factor in that fight?
Weight would play a factor, but I don't see him struggling with taller fighters. For example, Mario Barrios. Mario
Right,
Barrios is only a couple inches smaller than me.
right,
And I know Mario, me and Mario are really good friends. You know, at one point they would bring him down to Salas's gym, spar me and Rolando down there. And for a fighter like that, man, also to get dropped by Tank, it's not the size that's gonna be a problem for Tank. It's just how you come to him with what boxing attitude, boxing IQ. The only person, and I'm gonna be completely honest, I see giving Tank problems is Shakur Stevenson.
Why do you say that? I'm gonna say this right here first, then I'm gonna ask you why you say that. Okay, you know Shakur's last fight, right? Uh, the thing that I feel with Shakur, I think like between the three, I think he's the best boxer out of the three between him, Haney, and Tank. But I kind of feel like Shakur doesn't want to get hit, and I'm thinking if Tank catches him with a good shot, does he go into his shell and gets on his bicycle? Because I feel like it's going to be hard to win a fight, a boring fight against Tank because of who he is. So why do you say that? How do you see it playing out?
So the way I see it playing out is I feel like Shakur would dominate. Shakur has an impeccable boxing IQ. Um, for example, Andre Ward, the son of God, he's another guy that says, man, Shakur Stevenson's boxing IQ is impeccable. You know, if you really look at the way Shakur studies a fighter, I've been in training camps with him. I see what he can do. Like I said, I haven't sparred Shakur, but I've been in training camps with both of them, and I've definitely seen what they both can do. And I will tell you that Shakur is just dominant in boxing. Now you have that puncher chance. I'm not saying Tank is not a boxer. Tank has a boxing IQ, and the thing that helps Tank is that if you see the way that him and Coach Calvin interact,
Right.
is like Tank has his own consciousness outside of the ring, watching him fight on the inside, as he's also fighting on the inside.
Right, definitely, definitely. And I think, saying Shakur's last fight kind of it left a bad taste in people's mouth. But do you think Tank knows what it I mean, feels like that, like as if he had to choose, do you think it would be Devin or Shakur that he would fight first out of the two?
I feel like he would fight Devin first. If we're gonna go from a marketing strategy, look at Devin. Instead of fighting Rolando, that they were trying to hype up that fight and this and that, or Ryan was trying to fight Rolando, they ended up giving the publicity to Devin. Why? Because Devin knows if he was offering the bigger money to Ryan, Ryan has 10 million Instagram followers. And like I said, it's a social media industry. So Ryan's followers see Ryan getting beat by Devin, which is what I see happening in this Ryan Garcia Devin fight. A lot of those followers that don't follow Devin Haney are gonna start following them now. So you can kind of look at it as a big investment towards his social media, because at the end of the day, it's the bigger fight, is the more money, and Tank's gonna go after the bigger purse. Because at the end of the day, that's what fighting's about. Fighting's not how it used to be, like, oh, let's fight for the title, let's see who's the best. Let me fight who's gonna help me make more money. And once I make more money, then I'm happy with it. You know what I mean? Let's fight whoever else comes. Because now the way Ryan's gonna look at Rolando is as a, how do you call it, as a fallback plan. That
Right,
okay, if I lose against Devin, then I can still fight Rolando and win a WBA title and still get back on top. So
right, right,
if you
definitely.
really think about it, Rolando's just a rebound because he's the easiest world titleist at that weight.
He definitely is, man. You said a mouthful right there. And the thing is, though, so you say you think Ryan beats Devin, or you think Devin beats Ryan?
Devin beats Ryan. I
Yeah,
definitely think that. Not because of all the stuff that's been going on social media and none of that. Just because from a boxing perspective, boxing IQ, you also look at Sean. Sean, Ryan's brother, is way better than Ryan Garcia as a boxer. But guess what? The one with the bigger following, the one with the most money, that was a cash cow at one point, is Ryan. So they're gonna spend more. They're gonna invest more into Ryan.
wow. I didn't. I know his brother box, but what weight class is his brother at? I mean, where is
I,
he at?
I think his brother's fighting lightweight, same as me.
Okay, okay. And is he even getting any fights?
I think they were talking about him and Amado Vargas fighting. I'm not sure what Marv Nation's gonna do. Marv Nation's the one handling all that negotiation. I don't really try to get too much into politics unless it's with
Right.
my promotional company and it involves me. Then that's when it matters.
Yeah, you're definitely right. And did you have you ever sparred Mario Barrios? Did you ever get the opportunity to spar him?
So me and him were supposed to spar. Well, we never got the chance. At the time he was being managed by Luis de Cuba. I'm not sure whatever happened to their relationship, but I know that the week I was supposed to go spar them, they had to basically leave back to California, so we ended up not being able to spar.
right? And I think people kind of sleep on that win, you know what I'm saying, for Tank. I think it was a really big win for him. I think people realize that, you know what I'm saying, Mario's a pretty good fighter. But, I'm hearing about him maybe facing Boots, but I think it would be a bad fight for him if he did. I don't
Yes.
see, I just, and I truly think that, man, like I tell people, I don't know how you feel about it. I've heard different people say that, Boots isn't ready for Terrence Bud Crawford. I feel like, man, Boots is ready for anybody and gives anybody trouble whether he wins or not
Listen,
against Bud.
I would give that's if he's trying to make money, that's the fight to make happen. Boots has skill. He's proven it. You don't have to show to nobody that he has skill. He
Right.
has skill. That the fight can happen, it can definitely happen. But I would hate for him to prematurely take the fight and have a Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford happen again. Because
Yeah.
we all thought Spence was ready for Crawford. We thought
I,
that was the biggest match. Crawford made it look like nothing. He took him apart. And you can't take credit away from Errol because Errol was a great fighter and is a great fighter still. But
mm-hmm.
he just wasn't seasoned enough to that point where, okay, you know what? Now I can take Terrence. Or, after that injury, we don't know what happened in that car accident. They've been keeping a lot of stuff low key. We don't know what really happened. At the end of the day, it's boxing. Anything can happen. The best one. But I would definitely think, like, give Boots 3, 4 more fights
Yeah.
and then give him a shot at Crawford. Don't throw him this early and cut people short of a great boxing experience because if anybody has the opportunity to
Yeah.
beat Crawford right now, it would be Boots.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. And I think with Earl and Boots, the difference is their styles are so much, different. And Crawford, and I guess you can say Boots, their styles a little bit more aligned than Spencer. So that's why I see it being a better fight. You know what I'm saying? Even though, like you said, I feel like Spencer had a lot of things going on with him. I feel like, that Boots definitely matches up better. And did you say it did? I'm a fighter from Puerto Rico. No, I think is he from Puerto Rico or Cuba? No, he might be from Cuba. I don't want to get that wrong. David Morrell. Do you think he's ready for? A lot of people are pushing that issue, saying that David Benavidez is ducking him or he don't want to fight him. Do you think he's ready for that fight?
Listen, in all honesty, those Cuban fighters they have over 300 amateur fights before they come.
Right.
As experience wise, if we count his amateur experience, he might be ready. Now, in the professional world, we're talking about a whole different thing. Has he proven himself? He deserves a shot like that. I would say give him a shot at a Berlanga, or like Edgar Berlanga, or something like that to show, okay, you know what? He needs to move up and he needs to fight. Just like Edgar Berlanga, bro. Like they want to throw him in with Canelo. He's not ready for Canelo. We need to give him a couple of test fights before he starts calling out big names like that. But guess what? Everybody's looking for that big fat payday
Right.
because the way they look at it is I fight Canelo, even if I lose, I'm still gonna fight the best. I'm still gonna put my name out there. I'm still gonna get paid money. So it's a win-win situation for them.
Yeah, and I think Berlanga, I think he did decide that he didn't want that fight right now with Canelo. I heard somebody say that it was on a podcast or something that his team said that he's not ready. So exactly what you're saying is true. You know what I'm saying? They had enough common sense to say no, he's not ready for that fight. The time ain't now. So a lot of people would have took that money, but he made the right move right there. And with David Benavidez moving up to 175 now. And really, if he gets past this test, he's really waiting on the winner of Arthur and Duvall. And I kind of get better if he wins that fight. That's my personal opinion. I don't know, what I'm saying? Both of them are really good. But how do you see him matching up with either of those guys?
It's gonna be hard for him. Benavides. I've helped his brother spar Jose Benavides and Valenzuela. We were sparring at City Athletics back in the day, helping him get ready for the Crawford fight. Actually, but I will tell you this much: Benavides, great fighter. One thing I've noticed that he has a battery inside of him, man. The longer the rounds go, the more energy, the more boxing punch output you see from him. But at the same time, I don't know how he would fend off at 175 against a B-Bull and an Arthur Bitchreed. You know, I would say a Bitbull, he can definitely do better against Bitbull than Canelo did, just because of how busy he stays, how big, how much taller and how much bigger he is than Canelo. Because then Bitbull, what he did is he basically used his boxing skills together with the weight and the height difference to play around with Canelo and control the boxing outcome. He won't have the same results with the Benavides.
Right, right. Definitely, I definitely 100% agree with you, man. I think him and Bivol would be a great fight. Better believe he's a monster. He to me, you know what I'm saying. That's why I got him winning that fight with Bivol. I just think, man, he's too much for anybody. If you can't hurt him, I just don't see anybody beating him at the you know what I'm saying, at that weight. Now he's talking about moving up, maybe even possibly the heavyweight, and I think that would be a mistake on his part. I just feel like right now the heavyweights, man, these guys are 6'5", 6'6", 6'7",
Mm-hmm.
and even Tyson Fury being 6'9". You know what I'm saying? Them whole different animals up there. You know, that fight right there, the Fury and Usyk fight. You know, for a long time now, Tyson Fury was favored in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? But now it looks like, you know what I'm saying, he's the underdog. How do you think that plays out?
Well, in all honesty, I see Usyk winning, but that was before even Tyson Fury's last performance. I've been saying it. You can go back to multiple podcasts where they've asked me the same question. I've
Right.
said it. The reason why is because Usyk is a more sound boxer. There's a reason why Tyson Fury is avoiding Usyk. Um, and Father Time is undefeated. I will tell you that much.
Oh, definitely.
Tyson Fury is not the same Tyson Fury he was 2, 3 years ago. Usyk, he's small, but he's really technical. He's a real nice, technical, compact fighter. That if he takes the fight to the inside, he's gonna give Tyson Fury a lot of trouble. And we've seen that. People are talking about smack about the whole Tyson Fury and Ngannou fight. I'll tell you how that played out. Tyson Fury did not train for that fight, did not get ready. He came
No.
in the heaviest he's ever came for a fight on that fight because he thought he was gonna walk over him like he did, like Floyd Mayweather did with Conor McGregor, and that
Right.
wasn't the case. Now, the Ngannou versus Joshua, people. Also, another thing I said it on podcast. And that's why I love coming on podcasts because people get surprised, like, "Oh, damn, this dude was right," but I saw it coming the way that it happened.
I did too.
The knockout, not so early. I didn't predict the knockout to be so early, but I did predict the knockout just because I was like, Anthony Joshua has something to prove. He
Yeah.
has to prove that he still belongs up there
Right.
with the top level of the heavyweights because let's be honest, a good money fight that Anthony Joshua had the opportunity to make, but him and Eddie Hearns never closed down was Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder. That fight would
Yeah.
have sold a lot when it was on its peak. It would have
Yeah. It
sold a
would.
lot more.
It
We're talking about more than Usyk versus Tyson Fury. But
definitely, definitely.
that payday went away. Why? Because they didn't have the fight happen when it needed to. So
Man, you're right about that. And you know, Anthony Joshua been on a tear lately. You know what I'm saying? I think he's won 4 in a row or something like that. Did okay, you know, he with Ben Davidson now. And to me it looks like, man, it's made a big difference. You know, a lot of people don't know, but a trainer can make a big difference in a fighter. This version of Anthony Joshua, do you think he has a better shot against Usyk, or it just don't matter?
I feel like it has a better chance. If you look at the Anthony Joshua that showed up in the last fight, it's a relentless Anthony Joshua. You don't see the fear in his eyes. You don't see the insecurity in his eyes compared to the Anthony Joshua that got dropped by Andy Reese. You saw when he got dropped, you saw how his eyes opened up, like, oh man, like freaked out. And even after that, a couple of fights after that, he didn't have that killer instinct in him no more. He's coming back to that. And Wilder, he's going through the same rough patch where Wilder needs to get back that killer instinct because I believe that those fights that he's lost, man, come on, tell me. Nobody thought, I didn't think Wilder was going to lose to Joseph Parker.
I
I did
didn't
not think
see it.
that was going to happen.
You know what? I didn't see it either, but I'm gonna tell you this right here, and I've been saying this. I think Wilder needs another trainer because what he has is a best friend. I just don't feel like Malik Scott is his style is made for Wilder. Wilder don't need to be dancing and moving around. Malik Scott was a smaller heavyweight. That was his style. He had to do that. That's not Wilder's style right there. What's going on right now? Wilder needs to, go ahead and put his friendship to the side, and I think he needs to move on. And he should have stayed with his first trainer. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I
Well,
felt like that was a good matchup, and now things just ain't right.
we were talking about that earlier, actually. And the reason why he left his trainer is because he feel like his trainer was at the wrong for stopping that fight. But in all
Right.
honesty, if we looked from the outside in, he stopped the fight right on time because if he
He did.
wouldn't have, who knows if we would have had Wilder still in the ring.
Right, right. Definitely, your situation and his situation is different because he waited a long time, and Wilder was taking a beating when he stopped that fight. I'm talking about a real beating where you could look and see there was nothing left in him. There was
You
no
have
need
a
to keep on going.
eardrum. You have a eardrum bleeding, not just one. Both his eardrums were bleeding. That means his equilibrium is completely gone. Where you have blood gushing out from your ears, that's different. If you don't stop that fight, that's gonna end up like another Pichat Colon situation or something like that, And we don't want that, man. I hate fighters. I hate seeing that happen to fighters. Look at I'm proud of Subriel Matias. Subriel Matias is a great friend of mine. But man, it's sad to see what happened to Dada Chef.
Oh man,
You know?
it really was, and I don't know how that affects a man after something like that happened, but I'm just glad that Cerebral was, he's able to go on with his career and do what he's doing. And man, I'm glad you said y'all really good friends.
Yeah.
That's okay. So, because since then, me talking to you, I don't think you would be biased at all. How does the matchup between him and Teofimo Lopez look to you?
Listen, let's do this quick examination. Okay. Teofimo, he's a great boxer. I know Teofimo Lopez too, real good. I know him since the amateur. You know
Okay.
who beat Teofimo Lopez in the amateurs?
No.
Andres Cortez. Andres
Okay. Okay.
Cortez,
I know
yeah,
you're talking about.
Andres Cortez beat Teofimo in the amateurs. Now, Teofimo, it wasn't his dad who's been training him his whole life. Teofimo was trained by Gamboa's father in Florida.
Oh,
Now,
okay. I didn't know that.
yeah, Teofimo was trained by Gamboa's father back in Florida. Then his father took over. Once he became the takeover. That's when his father started taking over the training. But his father's more like a camera coach because behind the scenes, behind the cameras, he has so many different other people working with him that his dad is there to give him instructions the
Right.
corner. Because if you see how his dad works the corner, he
Yeah.
doesn't know what to tell him.
You
He
don't.
doesn't know what to communicate with him. You
You
know.
don't.
Now
Man,
the
and that's
way
crazy.
I see that fight playing out, I feel like Subriel, he's gonna weigh him out. He's gonna wait him out. Wait till he gets tired. Wait till he throws everything out. Then he's gonna finish him off. Because that's one thing I will give to you. Subriel is real good at waiting out his opponent. A lot of fighters, they're not good at that. They're not
Oh,
good
yeah.
at waiting out an opponent. They want to get, oh, you hit me, I'm gonna hit you back. You hit me, okay, it's my turn. You know,
Yeah.
when you can wait an opponent out till they get tired, and then you can come back and you still got a full energy tank when they're running on a quarter tank. you got so much more to give than that fighter did in those whole 6 rounds of damage to you.
You're definitely right. Who do you think will be the toughest test for Cerebral? Who do you think, like, as far as you see in the division, would be his toughest test?
I got two. In the 140 division, I got Devin because Devin has a great boxing IQ. And um I want to say if Tank does decide to move to 140, I see Tank giving him some problems just because of the power. Not
Right,
just
right.
the power, but the boxing IQ because Subriel knows how to fight and how to box. But the thing between them would be a strategic of okay, is he gonna get set up with the counters? Because one thing Tank is great at is counter punching, and people don't give
Definitely.
him enough credit for his counter punching. But he is a great counter puncher, and I haven't seen Subriel yet in person handle a counter puncher yet.
Okay, so uh so have you ever had the opportunity to spar him? Do you ever spar with him?
No, so we're talking about maybe going over there. I know he's in camp right now. Maybe going over there, getting a couple of rounds in. I just got to get my team together with them, and then we'll see what's going on, what moves we're gonna make. But hopefully sometime soon. If not for this fight, for the next training camp.
Man, I'm gonna let you get out of here, man. But the one thing the reason I was asking you that question is because I was just wondering about the power. You told me how hard Tank hit, and I was just wondering, comparing their power. What you think is different? Do you think that he has the power Tank has? That type of power?
No, no. It's real hard, bro. Like I said, I've been in there with fighters that outweigh me way more. Like I said, go back on my Instagram, scroll through my story, and you'll see how I handled a lot of these fighters. And I'm telling you, man, it's almost scary the power that Tank has. Now, I always say it, and I'm always gonna say it. Now, give me a couple more fights. Let me get seasoned well enough. Give me like 3, 4 more fights. Let's see if Tank's gonna have the same thing that he did with me in that sparring session. I
Right,
guarantee you he's not. I was a
right,
less experienced fighter back then. But the experience has nothing to do with the power.
right.
That is one thing I
Definitely,
will tell you. The experience, the rings, gentlemanship, none of that has nothing to do with a fighter's power. A fighter's power, you're either born with it or you're not. You don't have none at all. And Tank
definitely,
has monstrous power.
man. Listen, bro, I truly appreciate you, man, coming through. It was an honor talking to you, and man, I wish you all the success in the world. And we're gonna keep in contact, cause man, I'm gonna be talking to you. Not only talking about you, but your boxing. Sometimes you run into boxers and they know what they got going on, but they're not really peeping the landscape. So I really appreciate that, man. It's been great
No,
talking to you.
Oh man, it's been the same, bro. It's been the same because I can say the same thing of boxing analysts. You talk to a lot of boxing analysts, they think they know boxing or they see what's going on, but they just know what the mainstream media has. They don't
Right.
know a boxer from watching them, like their styles. They don't know none of that. So I can definitely relate, man. Where I had an enjoyable boxing conversation with you for sure.
Thank you, man. God bless you, man,
God
and keep
bless
you
you,
safe.
bro.
And
Take care, man, and thank you for having me on.
all right, appreciate you, bro.
All right, bro.
Man, all right. I hope y'all enjoyed this interview, man. Like I said, man, like, subscribe, and comment to my channel. And listen, hit me up on YouTube, man. Follow me on YouTube, CDK Boxing. Everybody have a blessed day.